NBA playoffs are here. They're starting this week, the NBA bubble. Before we get into it, I want to say the NBA bubble has been fucking awesome. What do you think about it so far?
I love the bubble. I think it's great. I think Dame and Devin Booker have been putting on a show. Some teams kind of got it exposed because it's like they're good on paper. They put up stats, but then like it's under a magnifying glass. You watch them play. I think the Mavericks, like, they look good on paper. Luka's putting up numbers, but like they're sloppy. So you watch them play, and I'm not as sold on the Mavs as I once was.
Yes, I agree. My whole thing, I guess we'll get into it later, but I'll kind of talk about it now. I agree. Teams are getting exposed. I think like the Sixers, I was possibly going to pick as a dark horse because if you look at their home record before COVID happened, spectacular. But if you look at their away record, it's awful. So I was like, maybe in a neutral site, they'll just be good, but they fucking suck.
No, it's more away than home for them.
Yeah,
for sure.
and I don't really understand that. But I if you've been watching my other videos, you know I've just been basically dick riding how well Adam Silver and the whole NBA has done this bubble. It gives me hope. I'm a little curious. I'm a little concerned that they're letting, people come visit them. I get it, like family members. I have issues being, isolated and stuff. I like to socialize, but...
And they're in Disney World. There's stuff to do.
Yeah, but they're saying like, oh, each player has 4 visitors. I'm like, oh, that just could be a disaster. But that's a different video. NFL, MLB, take fucking notes. College football, like I said, different video. Just take notes. But the bubble's been great. My only issue I have with it is the Suns went 8-0 and they didn't make the playoffs. I mean, I get statistically, if there's that many games left, you might not make the playoffs. But I feel like if you go 8-0, you don't make the playoffs. Like, what was the fucking point of even
inviting them to begin with? Yeah, I mean, they weren't statistically eliminated, but yeah, I
yeah,
get it. Fair.
Yeah, and I also feel like not the Mavs. The Grizzlies have been playing like shit, and they still.
My Devin Booker sucks take is freezing cold at this point.
Let's talk about the East first.
Okay.
Because we'll put aside LeBron talk for now.
All right, cool. So we start at the top.
Yeah, I'll start at the top.
All
so
right, Bucks are beating the Magic.
Yeah, but we don't have to. Okay, that's a sweep. That's a sweep. Raptors Nets. That's a sweep.
I think Karis LeVert can maybe steal a game or two because he's been actually going off in the bubble. I hope he does at least, but yeah, I mean I think the Raptors are probably going to win. They're clicking on defense like no team has clicked before.
Yeah, and it's also the Nets are looking for next year.
Yeah.
I don't think 100%.
They really care. I don't even think they're sold on their coach or anything like that.
Didn't they fire their coach?
They did, and I think the guy they have now is in the mix for it, but probably not going to get it. It's kind of development, but also Karis LeVert's going to get the ball, and then next year he's not going to get the ball at all because KD and Kyrie are back. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I think the Nets are. I'm not as sold on the Nets as everyone else. With this team.
We'll see. I love Kyrie for the championship, but I fucking don't like Kevin Durant. I know they're friends. We'll see if they get along. I guess that's a video for next year, but like I said, we kind of agree. I think they're looking towards next year. So yeah. I don't think they're going to be really locked in. They're not going to really care as much. That's why I think it'll be a sweep because the Raptors look pretty much incredible this year. It's kind of shocking since they lost Kawhi. But the next series, is it Celtics Sixers?
Celtics Sixers, and I'm going to have to, I think you're on the same page. Going to have to run with the Celtics on that. I'm very disappointed that Embiid and Ben Simmons are hurt. Ben Simmons is obviously out. Embiid's up in the air. I don't think he's 100%. And the Celtics, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown have been clicking on all cylinders, and Kemba Walker, if his knee's healthy, I don't think the Sixers really have much of a chance.
If the Cavs trade Colin Sexton and the crew for Ben Simmons, I'll chug a bottle of bleach.
And I'll need someone to move in to help pay rent. So let's hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I agree, though. I think the Sixers, like I said, they were going to be my dark horse, but they look like shit. Even when Ben Simmons was still playing, I don't even know how he fucking got hurt. Did you watch the clip?
Yeah, it's his knee just kind of buckled. I don't know. Injury prone.
He tried to do a pump fake 3 that wasn't fooling anyone.
Yeah, it's shooting 3.
And he kind of fucking hurt himself. I don't know how he did that. But no, I am one of those people. I do think Joel Embiid doesn't get enough credit for how good he actually is. As much as Draymond Green, the video of him talking about Joel Embiid was very real. I think if Joel decided to just go to the paint every time, I don't know who could stop him besides superstars. So. But no, I think Celtics will probably win in 5.
Yeah,
6.
Yeah, 5 or 6.
Yeah, something like that.
All right, next up, Heat Pacers. Who you got?
So, I know we want to pick dark horses, and your dark horse to win the East is...
I love the Heat.
Yes.
I think the Heat are fantastic. I think they're built for the bubble. Jimmy Butler is a sociopath, and he was built to live, eat, breathe nothing but basketball. That team is like run like a military operation. It's clicking on all cylinders. Bam is sick. Duncan Robinson's sick. I kind of hate Tyler Herro, but he's sick too. And then, like I said, Jimmy's Jimmy. Like I think they're like absolutely. And if he gets it in his mind that he doesn't like someone, like he's gonna dominate T.J. Warren this series.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I think that'd be my dark horse too, but I want to be different. But the problem is, if I do different, the only other team I can pick is the Pacers.
I mean, if Sabonis were healthy, because I love this Pacers team too. I think they're good. I think they were developed like the right way. They're great, but I do think Sabonis is their best player, and he's hurt.
Yeah,
so,
well, I guess it was Oladipo.
And he's still like working his way back in though.
He's actually playing pretty well.
Yeah, this season Sabonis was their best player.
Yeah. I've been saying that I think the Pacers are the most underrated team in the league. No one ever. I mean, they went to 7 games with the Cavs.
Yeah, no.
And no one really cared.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
The first round. So yeah, I agree. I'm gonna pick the Heat. I'm not gonna pick the Pacers, and that's my dark horse as well. I could see the Heat making the fight because I don't think you count the Raptors being a dark horse since they're the 2nd seed. And they they've won.
And they just have the narrative that Kawhi left. For them.
If that counts as a dark horse, I'll pick the Raptors. But I don't know if it really does. So I'll pick the Heat too.
Yeah, Heat are my dark horse to win the East.
And then, sure. But if I pick, I'm gonna pick the Bucks only because Kawhi is out of the East now and LeBron. So like I don't know who's gonna stop Giannis.
The Bucks have been playing like some of the best basketball anyone has ever seen this year. Their net ratings through the roof. Giannis is sick. They have both Lopez brothers.
Yeah.
So there's like some secret powers that like come in from that. I think Chris Middleton's good. Eric Bledsoe's good. I mean, smart money goes to the Bucks to win the East for sure.
Yeah, like I said, since Kawhi's gone, that was the only reason why they didn't make the finals last year. And I think Giannis that's the one thing that he doesn't have right now is a ring. So I think they'll win the East. And dark horse, I'll pick the Heat too. So we're talking about the West now.
Yeah, jump to the top. Lakers, Blazers.
Blazers. So Damian Lillard is one of my favorite players of all time because of
LeBron's also one of our favorite players of all time.
Yeah, well, LeBron is my favorite player of all time. And then, but like with Dame, it's because in 2K
he's sick,
absolute cheat code. He's one of the best I've ever seen. And this is obviously the Lakers didn't want to play the Blazers if they had to pick one of the teams.
Oh, well, I mean, the Grizzlies and the Suns were both sweeps, and I think the Blazers could at least get a game or two. I mean, I think Dame's not going to get swept, whatever. But I think the Lakers will probably win in 5. I feel like a gentleman's sweep or something. I think the Lakers will probably win in 5. Like I was talking about it with you earlier. I don't think the Blazers are a great matchup for the Lakers.
No, I agree.
Because Rondo still has his broken hand. Avery Bradley's out. They really don't have a ton of great people to throw on Dame and CJ McCollum. I mean, I like Nurk a lot. I think like he's got a great game. Anthony Davis is obviously better, but I think people are kind of underselling like the damage he can do in it. So I guess this is me trying to talk myself into picking the Blazers, but no, like still Lakers in 5.
Yeah, no, Lakers in 5. I just love seeing online the narrative. Bron's team fucking sucks. 5 games into going to the playoffs. It happens every year.
Flip the switch.
Yeah, every year it happens. And like I think people don't really remember the Cavs the last 4 years were I think in way worse shape than like the Lakers.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And they always turn it on. So I think that's pretty easy. What's the next? It's Clippers.
Clippers Mavs.
Oh, so Clippers Mavs. So I'll say this. I think Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, obviously one of the 2 best duos in the NBA. I think they'll beat the Mavs in 5. I think with the Clippers is they'll flip some sort of switch as well, and the Mavs I think. See, like I thought they were a pretty good team to give them some competition. But I feel like they've looked like shit in the bubble. They've not looked very good.
They have, and I know I talked about the Mavs getting exposed earlier, but I am going to take the Mavs over the Clippers in this series. I think it's going to go, the Clippers are going to win game 1. The Mavs are going to sneakily win game 2. No one's going to care. Then they're going to win game 3, go up 2-1. The Clippers come back, tie it 2-2, and the Mavs close it out in 6. They win game 5 and game 6. I think that Tim Hardaway Jr. hits a buzzer beater over Paul George, and I think Luka also hits a buzzer beater over Paul George. Because I think that Paul George is one of the most overrated players in the league. He's good, he's great during the regular season, but when it counts, he never shows up. He hasn't made it out of the second round of the playoffs since 2013 when he was the second best player on a team led by Roy Hibbert
that's a scorcher.
in the East when the East was at a critical low point where it was literally LeBron and no one else. Paul George has never proven anything. He gets exposed on the biggest stage time and time again. I think he's a choke artist, and I think Playoff P is the most inaccurate nickname in the league. And I also think that Kawhi Leonard obviously is getting a lot of hype for winning, maybe the easiest path to the NBA Finals ever.
Easiest path?
I don't think Kawhi is a top 3 player in the league.
He beat the MVP.
I don't think he's a top 3 player in the league. and I think that the Mavericks are going to win this series in 6.
See,
moving on.
I can kind of agree it's weird that Paul George has that nickname Playoff P. I don't even know who gave it to him. But I think Paul George is very underappreciated. That's my take. I understand. It is weird. It is very bad for his image that he keeps getting like game winner posterized. I don't even know how to say the term.
Yeah.
You get like posterized, but like by game winner, Devin Booker. But he is one of the best perimeter defenders in the league, which is weird.
Not when it counts.
Yeah, because that keeps happening to him. So I don't know. I think I'm not gonna pull Max Kellerman because I don't think Kawhi Leonard is the best player in the league. But I do think just because his playing style is so like kind of boring and weird, it doesn't get enough appreciation.
Yeah. Like people were calling him like the second coming of Michael Jordan last playoffs, so I beg to differ. But
that is true. But I'm saying, like, I get what you're saying, like you and Adam about Kawhi Leonard, but I don't know. I think because if you look at his stats overall, they're really like nothing crazy.
I think he averages like 25, like 5 and 5, which is pretty good. But
well, no, but like if you look. I'm just saying, like, because he doesn't really like the load management. He doesn't like if you look at some of his stats, you would think third best player in the league, or possibly the best player in the league. You think he'd have stats that just like blew your fucking mind.
Yeah, I mean, I think I got LeBron, Giannis, Steph, KD. Honestly, maybe Harden. Like I don't know.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I mean, Harden. Obviously, everyone hates James Harden, but he's good at what he does.
I think when everyone's healthy, it probably goes LeBron, KD, Giannis, Kawhi.
All right, fair.
All right, moving on.
Dave. Yeah. All right. Nuggets, Jazz, which like who cares?
Oh,
yeah. It's like they're the same team. They're both like in the Midwest.
Mike Conley's not playing.
Mike Conley's he left the bubble. He's out. Gary Harris is hurt for the Nuggets. Will Barton's hurt for the Nuggets. Mike Conley's out for the Jazz. Bogdanovich is out for the Jazz. We're literally looking at two teams that are like have 65% of their roster there. They're both like out west in cities that are 95% populated by white people, and neither of them have any shot at making the finals this year.
No, yeah, I think the Nuggets have always been somewhat of a dark horse, but like you said, everyone's hurt.
Yeah.
Mike Conley, love him, Ohio State. But I think he's not been playing that well this year.
No, he's been bad this year.
I'm pretty sure he's been bad.
He moved to the bench. And
they benched him.
And then Bogdanovich was starting before the bubble, but then Bogdanovich got hurt and he got moved back in.
Okay, well, so he'll be gone for. You can't play. What is the protocol?
It's something weird. Like if he gets tested every day, I think he only has to be out for like 5 days.
But so he'll miss like a few games.
Yeah, he'll miss a few games. He could still be back, but
it's still a tough series.
Yeah, the series could be over by then. I mean, Jokic is great. Michael Porter Jr. is like. I don't know if this is like a flash in the pan or if he's actually this good, but I mean, if he keeps going off, I mean,
the
Jazz are just so boring. Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell, I'm just like not. They're like good, but I'm not like super sold on either of them.
Rudy Gobert consistently almost wins Defensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year every year. I think this year he's second in odds. I think behind Giannis. Yeah, the Jazz are boring. The Nuggets are pretty boring too. But
that's the thing. I'm confused on if obviously Jokic is great. I'm just confused on if that system where they kind of like run around him being like the focal point of the passing game is ever going to work for an entire postseason, or if people will figure it out.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a well-run team.
Yeah.
I just don't like. I know Jokic is amazing, but
I like Mike Malone a lot, coach.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna pick the Nuggets to win that series. I'll go 7. I'll go 7. So Nuggets and 7.
I'll pick the Jazz. I think there's got to be an upset that we're not seeing here. So
yeah, exactly.
I have nothing to back that. Like I think the Nuggets should win, but I just kind of think the Jazz will.
No, I can see the Jazz. I was saying I really have no idea.
Yeah, I think Gary Harris and Will Barton both being hurt might come back to bite him a little bit because what's his name? I mean, Torrey Craig's like more of a defensive guy, and they've got I forget who that like backup point or the third string point guard they have that comes in now. I mean, he's okay too, but I don't know if like in the playoff series, I think they can get kind of locked down.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Michael Porter Jr., by the way, I'm glad we drafted Colin Sexton over him. So you shut the fuck up. Don't say shit.
What about Shea Gilgeous-Alexander?
Yeah, rather Colin Sexton.
Mm.
If Colin Sexton was in that position, Thunder would probably be like 2 seed or something.
Okay, right. So speaking of the last series, Thunder Rockets, who you taking?
I'm taking the Rockets, but like
Westbrook's out for I think at least the first game, maybe the first 2.
I still think I think the Thunder, like if I didn't make a video before the NBA season because I think my channel was just starting out, and I would have said that the Thunder were gonna be the worst team in the league. And the fact that they're this position right now and like they're very underappreciated, underrated is like incredible. So I can see the thing with the Thunder is like they have literally nothing to lose at this point.
Yeah.
They have proven everyone wrong. They've 130 million% won that trade.
They have all the draft picks.
They have all the draft picks. They've fucking trained. They have all their draft picks. They're essentially the same exact record as the Rockets because they have nothing to lose. The Rockets have everything to lose because if they lose a series, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, they have to blow it up.
Yeah, that sucks. So, but I still think the Rockets are gonna win. I mean, James Harden is averaging 35.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then even without Westbrook, I think they're fine for now. Obviously, they're gonna need him back for like.
Yeah, Russ has been really good since they got rid of Clint Capella too, and just cleared out all the space for him. He's been like insane.
See that I still don't understand the small ball thing. I don't get it.
Analytics.
I know, but like, well, what's gonna happen with the play? Like, say they make it to the Western Conference Finals, they play Lakers or something.
I think they literally try to outshoot them. I think they just try to like, they just try to score more points and like just abandon all defense.
So. See, they keep doing. That keeps not working. Like remember Game 7 against the Warriors.
They did miss 27 threes in a row.
If they would have shot a normal night, they would have beat them. So like it's literally you live by 3 or they die by 3.
Yeah.
So I mean I don't know. I know a lot of people actually do have the Rockets being a dark horse to win the West. I don't think they will.
No. That's another team. It's like matchups. I think like. It just depends on like who they run into, and if like someone gets hot or like you said, someone like has a big man that can just like put him to bed.
Yeah,
and that's like kind of what their downfall is gonna be.
So I'm gonna take the Rockets in this series. What are you gonna take?
Honestly, I mean it pains me to say it because Russ is like maybe one of my like 3 to 5 favorite basketball players all time, and maybe if he were healthy all the time, I'd go the other way. But I think I'm gonna go with the Thunder. I think I kind of like the team. I like the squad. They've had a good year. I don't like.
They're killing in the bubble.
They're killing in the bubble. I think the Rockets are kind of like they're very matchup oriented on who they're going to be good and who they're going to be bad on. Like I think if everything breaks right for the Rockets, like I think they can beat anyone, but I think they can also lose to anyone. I wouldn't be surprised if they won, but I'm gonna roll with the Thunder instead. I think Chris Paul's got like he's an alpha. Like he's got the same like Jimmy Butler psychopath thing I was talking about earlier. I think he can just almost will them to win in a way. I think Alexander's good. I think Steven Adams is good. I mean, Bill Donovan's a good coach. I think, I mean, I don't feel strongly about it, but I'll go with the Rockets.
No, you mean the Thunder?
Thunder, yes, not the Rockets. Take the Thunder.
Yeah, I mean, they've been killing in the bubble. I don't, like I said before, they have nothing to lose. So the pressure's kind of off on them. Lose. So I'll go Rockets in 7. We'll go a nice 7-game series.
All right, I'll go Thunder in 6 if I had to choose, but yeah.
Okay, well we talked about dark horses in the East, so I guess we got to pick ones in the West. And
who you going with?
I don't know. You kind of mentioned it earlier that essentially any team in the West that's not the Lakers or the Clippers are a dark horse.
Yeah.
And I don't really want to pick the Rockets because I feel like that's too easy. I'll go Nuggets.
Nuggets?
Fuck it.
That's a good one.
They're always the sneakily good team.
Yeah, right. I mean, I think that's a good pick. I love Jokic. I mean, if Michael Porter Jr. keeps doing his thing, I'm like, why not? For me though, I'm gonna go with. I'll go with the Thunder again. I think I'll just I really think it's probably gonna be the Lakers that come out of the West. But
of course.
I'll ride with the Thunder on this one. And would not be surprised if they just ended up losing the first round. But I think the Thunder are my dark horse in the West. Yeah,
and then my real pick for the West is the Lakers. That's yours too. And I think the really only team that could probably beat them is the Clippers. And the Clippers, they have a better team overall, but I think
They're deeper, but I don't think. I mean, the rotation's shrink in the playoffs, so I don't
Yeah,
think that's like big of a deal.
And LeBron's with Anthony Davis, his best teammate ever. So it's like, I think Lakers. So Lakers finals for me is be Lakers Bucks, and I'm gonna pick Lakers in 6, and I think I'm just going off of that. I think, like I said, LeBron finally has like his best teammate ever. I'm not saying like Kyrie or Dwayne Wade or any of them were bad, but they're fucking amazing too. But like not Giannis. AD's like
Boobie Gibson.
This is like the first time in his career he has someone that's top 5 in the league.
I mean, Dwayne Wade was probably top 5 in the league when he had him again. But yeah, no,
2010?
Anthony Davis.
I guess,
I mean,
yeah.
I'm a big Dwayne Wade hater. I think he's
don't
very
get it,
much
but-
overrated. But yeah, no, I mean, AD's unreal. I mean, I like the rest of the team too. I think Avery Bradley and Rondo they might miss, but I mean, I like Kuzma. I like Danny Green. I think Danny Green in the playoffs will turn it on. Hopefully.
Oh yeah.
And he's got experience. He's got the championship DNA.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be good. And I mean, I think LeBron's motivated, and I don't think like. Obviously, betting against LeBron is never a really smart thing to do. He's, the best basketball player ever, in my opinion. So.
Yeah, he shoots the ball really well.
Yeah,
he's a great passer.
Probably a great scorer, passer, defender, high basketball IQ, great athlete. Can basically defend 5 positions.
But he's not the greatest ever because he made the finals a few.
Yeah, because he made the finals 9 times, so that's like something that gets held against him.
I mean, no, I get it though. Like.
Yeah, I mean it's
it
makes
not like, sense. You'd rather lose in the first round.
He had to play like the Warriors with Kevin Durant all the time compared to Jordan. He got to play like John Stockton, who I think like maybe is like a role player on the Spurs in today's NBA.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like I mean whatever.
Michael Jordan wishes he was half the player as Colin Sexton.
I have nothing to say about that. But no, I mean LeBron's the best. So anyway, off on that tangent, yeah, I think my finals is also Lakers Bucks. And I obviously want the Lakers to win. LeBron guy, but I think smart money. I got to run with the Bucks. The Bucks have been absolutely unreal this year, and when they turn it on, like that was that game against the Heat where they were down like 15 and they ended up winning by 20. Like it's a 35-point swing in the second half.
Yeah,
like it's insane what they can do. So that's right. Hoping for the Lakers. Think it's probably going to be the Bucks.
That's fair. I hate that both our picks are pretty they're pretty generic. And crazy. The 1 seeds are going to make the finals.
Yeah. So the 1 seeds are going to make the finals, but also don't sleep on the Heat because Jimmy Butler's the man.
Yeah. The West, for me, it's only going to be the Clippers or Lakers. In the East, the East, we already talked about like 3 other teams I could see making the finals besides the Bucks. So
I could see the Celtics. Honestly, I could see the Celtics, the Heat, or the Bucks. I don't think the Raptors are gonna.
I can see the Raptors making the finals.
I don't think the Raptors.
I'm not gonna. I think the Bucks. The Bucks are gonna make the finals. I think that's like the easy pick. So those are our picks. Let me know what you guys were thinking for these weird NBA bubble playoffs. Which actually, I'm going to ask you this: what do you think? Like, so if LeBron wins this one, or even Giannis, anyone, do you put an asterisk by this?
I don't think you do. I
don't think so either.
They ended up playing like 70 games still in the regular season. They're running through the whole playoffs. Like the break, I mean, there's maybe going to be rust. Some people are going to be more rested, but I mean, they've been back in the bubble for like over a month now. They've been playing games for 2+ weeks. I think the rust is off.
And like, oh man, if LeBron wins a ring, we go play asterisks. Like, God forbid, if a fucking pandemic happened.
They played more games this season than they did in like the lockout season.
That is true. So, and also, I feel like the circumstances are probably a lot harder than people think on like the players. Like they're in Disney World, the happiest place on earth, but still it's probably like they literally. I mean, I've traveled for work before. It's still even when you're not working, you feel like you're working.
Yeah.
So it's
exactly.
So they like to go home and kind of relax. Like they probably feel they're consistently just basketball 24/7.
Right, which I mean is probably good for some players, bad for others. But no, I don't think there's an asterisk. I mean, I think they're hooping like it is what it is.
But hey, it's all we got for now. I'm not complaining. I can't wait. It's been great so far.
Yeah, thank you for having me on the show as the first guest. A true honor. Yeah.
No problem. Thank you so much for watching. Click here to see more of Davey Dave's Takes.